All right, thank you for, I know lots going on, so thank you all for joining us here this evening. What we're going to do is to talk about the future of ITIL. So we are going to talk about continued relevance, we are going to talk about ongoing evolution, and perhaps most importantly, we are going to talk about how you can all be involved with the future development of ITIL. So a few points up here. We all know that the vast majority of Fortune 500 organizations, US government departments, in fact, governments all over the world, corporations all over the world, continue to see value from the ITIL framework. And ITIL makes organizations more effective. ITIL enables scale. We have a lot of resources for you, many of you know, but if you don't, Axelos.com, we invest a lot of time in case studies. There's a recent case study showing this practical value to organizations. The most recent one is with Sutter Healthcare here in the US. And to make it really topical, we're working with a Florida-based fintech startup, fast-growing. You asked them 2 years ago about frameworks, they wouldn't know what you're talking about. Probably the best way to they would characterize it is a lean startup model with agile development. Now, as their customer base grows and they move from a startup into a scale-up, and their employee base grows, they are now seeing the value, and we're working with them on a potential case study. They are integrating ITIL with their existing new practices. So exciting stuff, ITIL enabling scale. I mentioned we'd talk about continued evolution. So practices, new ideas emerge. New ideas emerge, they evolve, they're new practices, they're good practices, they're best practices. We could have put many up here on the screen. Why do you think we chose the three which are mentioned here? If you need to ask, just look at the conference agenda we have here this week. These are some of the discussions. ITIL is already successfully integrated with these and many other new approaches and ideas. And that will continue. Practices continue to evolve. Technology. You've probably got a bit of a 20-year or more horizon here. Pick your favorite icon from floppy disk through to VR. The point here is that as well as practices evolving, technologies evolve. And again, ITIL has and will continue to adapt, to be integrated, and we're all benefiting, particularly think of probably the biggest change, not just cloud, but the automation, the possibilities that we're all now frankly used to. So with this evolution, the continued evolution of both practices and technologies, naturally, ITIL also evolves. And so I'm delighted to be able to share with you all, and thank you again for joining us, to share with you that ITIL is being updated. And, thank you, and the main point which I made at the beginning is we're going to explain how we're going to update it with you, with the community. So, Margot was introduced by Kathy earlier. I'll now hand over to Margot Leach, who is our new Chief Product Officer, to continue the discussion. Margot.
Hello. So I am the new CPO at Axelos. That's my official title. Unofficially, I am an ITIL champion. So, ITIL is being updated. We said it. Hopefully that is exciting news. Thank you. But with a framework that is as widely adopted as ITIL is, as Peter referred to, it also raises a lot of questions when you make a statement like that. And we appreciate that. And I'm here to talk about the progress that we have made so far and our vision. And I stress the word our because, as Peter alluded to, we can't do this alone. And then how you can get involved and where you come in. So, the 3 points. We have not been sitting still. Axelos demonstrated its commitment to the ITIL portfolio when it launched ITIL Practitioner in 2016. This was a new body of knowledge, a new qualification, and it has been embraced by the service management community. The 9 guiding principles, we've got some of the authors here with us, thank you. The 9 guiding principles, which focus on user-led design, collaboration, all of the cultural things that are going on right now, have started to move us in the direction that ITIL needs to be taken. So after the launch, we didn't stop there. We turned our focus into the full ITIL portfolio. And we embarked on a phase of research. It was quite intensive. We had 32 workshops. These were live workshops around the world. We spoke to over 300 people. That's practitioners, consultants, trainers, C-level executives, everyone from industries all over. We launched our ITSM Global Research Program, and we have over 650 active participants. And that was absolutely invaluable in checking with quantitative data what we were hearing in the workshops. So what have we learned from that? What is our vision after all of that deep research? Well, I'm sure it's not going to come as a surprise, and it's quite reassuring. The core principles of ITIL and the fundamentals of service management remain as valid as ever and as important as ever. And it's not just valid. They remain critical to enabling businesses to transform and, as Peter alluded to, we spoke of, to scale. We also learned from our end learners that it's important that, in addition to qualifications, which are absolutely valid and valued by them, that we offer continuing professional development, practical guidance that takes them on the journey of their career. So, if the core principles of ITIL remain so valid and the fundamentals of service management remain valid, then why change? Why update? It's a good question that I'm asking. So, as Peter said, scalability, stability, risk management, absolutely fundamental, and we can't lose those. We can't lose that focus. But we need to add an additional focus to the core of ITIL. And I'm talking about speed to market and agility. And that is a business's ability to respond to commercial threats and respond to market demands and market opportunities. They've got to do it in today's landscape, and ITIL has to be able to enable that. But we don't need to reinvent the wheel. There's that slide again. There are methodologies, there are practices out there that are working for people. And they are working alongside ITIL principles and processes already successfully. So we know that the new ITIL must include practical and explicit guidance on how to incorporate those principles with these contemporary ways of working. And I like to, and we like to at Axelos, practice what we preach. 9 guiding principles of ITIL practitioner, user-led development, continuous improvement through a continuous feedback loop. That is absolutely essential, and we will live by that. So we are inviting you to please join us in the evolution of ITIL. And I'll pass back to Peter to explain how you can do that.
Okay. I don't need this, I need the other thing. You keep this. I've already got one. Okay, so just to reiterate, this is about, so ITIL has always been a community initiative. ITSMF is a community. And there's been an element of openness, I think correctly, always with wide peer review, wide author base. We're taking this a lot further. So very soon we're going to end, and we'd love you to come to our booth for us to help explain more and take some of your questions. But the main point here is there's an open sign-up. In fact, it's referred as the Global Research Program. We're moving that now to the Global Development Program, because the development of ITIL Update will happen in 2018. It's happening now. So really strong. Thank you for, I can see a lot of faces. Thank you for the participation, the ongoing participation, the great ideas, the challenges from the research groups. We move now into the development stage, and we want to open this up. And this is the opportunity for everyone that we're underlining here. So we've got a URL here. We're happy to take questions. Thank you again to the Axelos team. Thank you to the ITSMF USA team. Thank you for the applause over here. It's always a fun time. This is the 5th fusion that I've attended, that Axelos and ITIL have supported, and we're looking forward to continue to do so. And now, moving through this really, really exciting new phase of Axelos and ITIL and the frameworks and our industry. The future is very, very strong and bright for this industry. So thank you again. Enjoy the champagne, and we'll see you on the booth. Thank you.